The Black Brain Campaign is an incredible collaboration that helps to break the stigma of mental health. For those of you that this is your first time here, it was founded in 2016 by Philadelphia marriage and family therapist Farida Boyer and Janae Johnson. This organization overall is geared to help the community learn more about mental health by providing three key things. The first one is education, the second is the resources that are needed, and third is the advocacy. Their mission is to eradicate the stigma of mental health in the Black community.
So please, let's not celebrate too much. Let's get out here, let's pay attention, and let's support our new mayor. Welcome, Mistress of Ceremony.
Very special thank you to my good friend Michael Rashid and his wonderful wife Medina. We've been in a foxhole together. I'm a citizen who just happens to be the Democratic nominee for mayor of the city of Philadelphia. But what I'm really excited about is this is my third year in a row serving as the mistress of ceremonies for this gala. And I always like to make sure I give some context before we get started, because prior to Farida Boyer and I meeting in 2016, 17, in the back room of my city council office, extremely dusty, a lot of papers and books, but Farida came and she took me to school about a place and a space, to be quite frank, that I didn't know much about. And because in the family that I grew up in, and obviously in the community that I grew up in, talking about mental and behavioral health was not just something that was done. Uncle Johnny or Cousin Smitty, they just needed to be handled a different way sometimes. And we didn't talk about mental and behavioral health. In addition to that, in the city of Philadelphia, we have a system. And Farida, I guess I'm saying this now because you need to put your thinking cap on, because you and your team, you all going to have to help with this. We're really proud of this behavioral health system that we have that was guided by CBH. CBH, that's the system through which we deliver services. And Farida said, I want you to think about who the people are who need the service. I said, oh yeah, I'm really happy. People are talking about behavioral health and mental health now. She says, no, you're talking about the people who are in need of the services. Where's the cultural competency with the providers? And I was like, and y'all know, I was listening. I think I shut up, right? And listen. And then she talked about the pipeline. Then she talked about the testing. Then she talked about all of the individual providers who are doing the work in organizations. And if they don't pass this test to get certified, to get licensed, they could be doing the work of a therapist forever, but never being paid for their professional expertise. Thank you so very much for taking me to school, Farida Boyer, and that's why I'm happy to be here for the third year. We do have an exciting evening planned for you. The Black Brain Campaign is an incredible collaboration that helps to break the stigma of mental health. For those of you that this is your first time here, it was founded in 2016 by Philadelphia marriage and family therapists Farida Boyer and Janae Johnson. This organization overall is geared to help the community learn more about mental health by providing 3 key things. The first one is education. The second is the resources that are needed. And third, it's the advocacy. Their mission is to eradicate the stigma of mental health in the Black community. And tonight, proceeds from this event will directly support, and this is always important because you want to, you want to support a community-based organization doing some good work, but sometimes you wonder where those funds go, and you don't have to worry about that here. The Black Brain Campaign's therapy programs, assisting therapists of color to retain their certifications and free community events that they hold throughout the year. So before I bring up our next speaker, I do want to take a moment to thank this evening's sponsors, because no matter how good Farida Boyer is, all of her partners, her board, all of the providers who are in this room, if you don't get the financial support that you need, none of what you do would be possible. With that being said, if I call your organization's name, can you please stand and remain standing until I've completed the list? First, there's the Laborers District Council, Independence Blue Cross, the District Council Lesson Fund, the Philadelphia Foundation, Laborers Local Union 57, AmeriHealth Caritas, International Union of Operating Engineers Local 542, Citizens for Omar Sabir, Black Men Heal, District Council 21, PNC Bank, Brown's Family ShopRite, Resolve Philly, All Smiles Family Dental, Shabu Consulting, Laborers Local Union 413, Plumbers Local 690, and Steam Fitters Local Union 420. Give them a huge, huge, huge round of applause. Yes, thank you all so very much. Now, we will have a greeting on behalf of the Black Brain Campaign by the Board of Directors, Mrs. Tara Harper, and this is going to be followed by the occasion by board member and my soror, Ms. Sharana Wormsey. Tara, the missus is here. Another soror. Can we just do a little one? Don't get mad. Ooh.
I always say it's hard to follow you, Ms. Parker. I just want to, on behalf of the Board of Directors, can I have all the Board of Directors please stand? So you can be acknowledged. Thank you. Just welcome again to the 4th annual Green Tie Gala. We thank you for your partnership, your support. I just want to say, because I was like, let me write something down so I can say this, but I just wanted to say that it's working. I'm at your alma mater, Ms. Parker, Lincoln University. I run counseling services there. And when I say these young folks are coming in, they're seeking services, we are really tearing down, we are decreasing that stigma. And just with the Black Brain Connection, I can call Farida, I need a Black therapist. They're right there next day. So it's like, it's really working. And we just thank you for your support and your partnership. So again, just welcome. So we didn't plan this 3 delegates in a row. And I'm wearing green. All right. So on behalf of the Black Brain Campaign Board of Directors, just want to thank again all of our board members, our sponsors. Thank you so much, Sherelle. Now I don't have to read that long list of supporters, but again, just want to acknowledge you all once more. A special thank you to you for being our mistress of ceremony for this 3rd year in a row, and just for your longstanding support of this organization. So we're here today just to help further the organization's commitment to removing the stigma with regard to mental health through community education as well as advocacy. And with your support, all of you here today, we can continue to eradicate the stigma of mental health in the Black community, as well as continue to provide those free therapy sessions and training to help increase the number of Black licensed therapists through our LEAP program. When my mother passed away, I was 11 years old, from breast cancer. There wasn't a therapist that looked like me that I could go to. We had, I think, maybe 3 sessions that we were allowed to go to at that age, and it was by an older white woman who really couldn't identify with us as low-income Black children that just lost our mother. And it wasn't until I was an adult that I had, a decent wage, paying job, that I had the health insurance necessary to be able to get that therapy that I needed to deal with the grief and trauma. So, as an adult, I began processing that trauma and grief that was associated with that. So when Rita reached out to me after she founded this organization and asked me to join the board, I immediately said yes, because I really believe in the mission. The number of lives that have been impacted to date through the efforts over the past 7 years speak for themselves. But while we've made progress, there is still more to be done. The Black community still struggles when it comes to prioritizing mental health as well as receiving treatment. But with your continued support, we can continue to reimagine the mental health paradigm in our community. And I just want to thank you all for being here. We look forward to seeing you next October, as well as at any of our other events throughout the year. One more. I do need to acknowledge elected officials. Councilman Kenyatta Johnson is here. I didn't see him on his way. Okay, he's on his way, so we'll acknowledge him when he gets here. Commissioner Omar Sabir, I saw you. And then although Councilwoman Catherine Gilmore Richardson is unable to attend, she also has been a longtime supporter of our needs and organization. And did I miss any other elected officials? Oh, Nina? Oh, she's not, yes. Yes, elect, yes. Judges count. Oh. Judges do count. Judge Carolyn Nichols. Board member and judge to New Mont. And then also, although he's not a current elected official, I do just want us all to keep the Green family in our prayers as well, because he's been a long-time supporter. So if we can keep Derek Green and my sorors in your prayers, that would be great.
Thank you, Tara and Sharena. Over the last 4 years, the Black Brain Campaign has grown with the community and continues to address the needs of those too often overlooked. Your presence today, your commitment to supporting the Black Brain Campaign, it allows them to continue in its growth and mission to eradicate the stigma of mental health in Black communities. So Tara, thank you for sharing that you are seeing students actually take advantage of the opportunity to get therapy and have conversations with professionals, culturally competent professionals when needed. And Sharena, what happens is when you testify and you have the courage to speak about your personal story, your lived life experience, you make a different connection for people. So thank you for your willingness to share your testimony. Give Tara and Sharena a huge round of applause, please. We are now going to get to the part that we love. Dinner is going to be served shortly. We're going to ask that you all remain seated until a host comes to your table to escort you to the buffet. Should we all get up at the same time? A host is going to come to our table to escort us to the buffet. Our 360 photo booth is set up. It is available for you to use. We want you all to make sure that you have some fun, and if you live the life that I live, I'm going to get some fun, Dion. I'm going to get a dance and a photo booth or something while I'm here. We also have a virtual raffle this year. You can scan the QR code on your program card or over at the raffle table to purchase raffle entries. We also have an Eagles and a 76ers gift basket, which include tickets to the games, right? So a basket, Eagles and the Sixers with tickets to the games, a wine basket, a professional portrait session, and more. And the raffle automatically closes at 10:30 tonight. So make sure you get your tickets online right now. The raffle closes at 11:30 tonight. 10:30. Oh, y'all paying attention or not, you are. And we have to say this, and I want to pay attention to this as well. Ryan Boy and Uncle Sanchez is in my brain when it comes to black-owned businesses. And not only are we here with the Black Brain Campaign, but our photographers from Richard Y Studios are taking photos to capture the evening. Richard Y, where are you? Just raise your hand. He's bad, dog. He's like Michael Jackson with the camera. He's bad. In addition to that, our good brother, Corey, did you see me like coming in like I was trying to be dignified when you were playing that music and I started jamming? Give it up for the legendary Corey DST. Corey DST. So we're going to also have a beautiful medley played by our violinist, Ricky, during dinner. We want you all to enjoy yourselves, and we are going to resume the program as soon as we get through dinner. So everybody knows the rules of the engagement. Y'all ready to have a good time? Yes. All right. Thank you so much. We'll be back soon. This is usually the most exciting part of the program for me. And with this in mind, for those of you who are standing good, if you're not, I'm going to ask everyone if you would just stand to your feet right now, please. Will everyone just stand to your feet right now with me? My favorite part, because you're going to see what they're about to do and learn about the LEAP program, but I want to bring to the stage the Black Brain Campaign founder and president, Mrs. Farida Boyer, who's going to lead the pinning ceremony and this evening's awards.
Good evening, everyone. I want to first say thank you for all coming. Y'all can say thank you for coming. I am so excited. One thing I will say about our LEAP program, that's our Licensure Education Assistance Program, we pay for clinicians to get licensed. We pay for clinicians to become supervisors. We pay for them, their testing, their study material. In order to become licensed, you have to get 3,000 hours of clinical hours. This is my clinical director, Dr. Kavanda Nixon, just became a doctor of all of my friends. They all supervisors. They have taken the course to become, they went through our supervision course. So this is Janine and Cynthia, welcome to the LEAP. We appreciate everything you do. And one of the things that we started off, I know we run a tight ship in a vigorous program. Because we started off with 10 clinicians. By the time we finished, it was only 3 of them left. Because we don't play. We meet, we talk to them, we sit with them. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, then this program is not for you. Because it's hard for me to have empathy for you because I know what it feels like. I ran our community association with 5,000 members. And during that time, I worked a full-time job. So I was able to graduate to get my degree and to get a license. So when you tell me, oh, I got this story, I'm like, we all had stories. But we all did it. So if you want it, you're going to work hard, you're going to pass the test, and you're going to get through it. One of our clinicians who started in our first cohort, she did not pass her exam. Today she called me and she was so excited. She said, Farida, I passed my exam. I'm going to turn it over to them because they closely work with, oh, there's everybody, I didn't even see them. So they work closely with our team to make sure that they have what they need for
So I am Dr. Kamani Nixon. I'm the clinical director for the LEAP program, the Licensure Education Assistance Program. For those who don't know, like Rita said, there's a short tidbit she gave about the process we go through, but the amount of Black clinicians that are needed in our community, because 99% of the kids, the adolescents that are seen in Philadelphia are Black, and they're looking for another face that looks like them. So we provided that through our education assistance program. We pay for your testing materials, that's over $1,000. We pay for your test, which is over $1,000. And we walk you through the whole process where, again, we have wonderful, wonderful clinicians, experienced, knowledgeable, like Cynthia and Janine, who really go forward and help them through the process. And again, we're just not putting regular clinicians out here. We're giving you experience and ground level training. So thank you guys for doing what you do. I really appreciate you. So, the three that we have Amia, we have Kiana, and we have Will, who went through our program. Again, they are kind of like the three amigos, the last standing, through the 10 who made it through it, because it is rigorous. Like Frida said, both of us, we took our test together. It's a process that if you're willing to do it, you will, and we need you to do it because you're needed in this community. So we want to thank you, and we want to just acknowledge you going through the program, right? So we will now honor you and continue. We also are going to acknowledge our wonderful supervisors who go through the thick of it with them, Cynthia and Janine. So actually, as we're even going and pinning, I'm going to have them come up and kind of say a little something. I know you didn't expect it, but again, just hearing from me is not enough. I would love for you all to hear from the actual people who've gone through it. So, Quiana, I'm going to call you first. Queen, yes.
Nice.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for coming. I'm so grateful to be here because it is a blessing. If you donated to the Black Dream Campaign, you have helped us make our dreams come true. So we're an example of where your money went. This program has supported us with studying, having someone to speak to about client concerns, strengthening our abilities as counselors, you name it. I am so grateful. I'm grateful for Farida, especially because she is not a gatekeeper at all. She will share the resources. And I'm sure y'all know her in this room, and you know she will ask you if you need something, even when you're chilling. So I'm grateful, and I thank her. And I thank the clinical supervisors who have been supporting us since day one, and the other two amigos that's here. It's been amazing. I'm truly grateful, and thank you again for all your support.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So my name is Amia Hines, and I just want to say I am forever grateful for this program. I actually graduated last year and started this program right off of graduation. Just open to learning and seeing just people that look like me in the field, and professionals, and people who want and believe in us and want us to succeed. And it feels good to know that I had a lot of support from my supervisors, to my cohorts, to Farida and Kavana. So I just appreciate it, and I appreciate the support from everyone as well. So yes, thank you.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
All right, now. My name is William Ray Eel. I promise I won't be long-winded. I know y'all know how to talk. Thought is the cause of it all. And the simple fact that Farida had the idea with Kavana to put together a program that actually helped make this path a lot easier for Black clinicians to get licensed literally was, it is amazing. It was something that I had been looking for, because it took me a year to even get all the information to know which way to go. And the fact that each one of us has something that's placed within our heart, and whenever we choose to share it with the world, not only do we bless those who are going to benefit from directly, but then those indirectly who we may not even know about. So the fact that, my colleagues and I were able to support each other, then provide services for those who actually needed other Black clinicians to work through whatever issues that they were presenting, is truly a blessing. It's not to be taken for granted. So I thank everybody in this room, and I especially thank Rita and Dr. Nixon for, just putting their all, their blood, sweat, and tears into this program, and just creating a organization, a platform for future Black clinicians that are going to come behind us. So this is truly an honor, a blessing, and I thank you and I thank them dearly from the bottom of my heart.
We will pin each one as they go to their next steps. For those who don't know, they did take the test and they're on their next part of their journey, becoming licensed clinicians. So please, please, please give them a round of applause. Yes. Lastly, we want to thank our wonderful supervisors. Yep, I want to give them their flowers right now because, again, they're the ones who are on the ground with them hours each week, helping them, signing their progress notes, really giving them the feedback they needed. So I want to thank Cynthia and Janine right now for the work that they did. Thank you. Clap it up for them. They did an amazing work.
Thank you, Supervisor. It's like she took over the program from me. I was doing so many things. She's like, Rita, I got you. I felt like she had it. I left you with it, and I'm proud of her. Thank you. So we're gonna. So we're moving right along. Let's give our new
All right.
This time, we in our program, we would like to give out our awards. And I just want to share just some of about our Clinician of All Time award. When part of the process of the marriage and family therapist, you're supposed to be in therapy. You're supposed to be in supervision. So one of the things that we learned is something called person of the therapist. And people don't know, but it gives you an opportunity to learn so much about yourself because as you're in supervision, you're really doing work on yourself and you're processing it about your client, your experience with your clients, but it's also looking at you. And if you know me, you can see that I've been through a transition in the past 2 years, but it's really because of this person, because he started Person of the Therapist. He is world-renowned for the work of Person of the Therapist in the marriage and family therapy field. He is a professor at Drexel University, and he does exceptional work for marriage and family therapists. And I just want you all to recognize Dr. Harriet Ponte, who we will be giving our Clinician of All Time award.
really very moved to be here. Feels like a real privilege. You know, I'm Puerto Rican, born and raised in New York, Harlem, South Bronx. Came to Philly in 1968. Got married here, so that's been good. I fallen in love with Philadelphia, but I'm a psychotherapist, but to me it's not just a profession, it's really a calling. Because we all suffer, we all hurt, we all have our struggles in life. And we need to have psychotherapists who see us as human beings and who can relate to us as people who are struggling with life and trying to make life meaningful. So that the work that I'm doing as a psychotherapist and teaching, I don't think of it as a job. I really think of it as a calling. I've been in this business for quite a number of years, almost 90 now. But I cannot tell you how many times, it really moves me, but how many times I've heard from people in my business saying those people cannot profit from therapy. Somehow like we're something less than human. You know, my calling in life for me has been to make this field of psychotherapy one that we own, that belongs to us, that we're human, that we struggle. And my writing, my teaching, the therapy that I've been doing, I've always felt that this is something more than it's not just a job. It's really a calling, and it's a very, very, very serious responsibility. I've lectured really all over the world, Asia, all over Europe, South America. But I cannot tell you how often I've heard people in my business disqualify us. You know, that somehow or another, I don't know, that we're not reachable, we're not helped, we can't be helped. So my commitment has been to my family, I'm Puerto Rican, my family, my community, the people I've grown up with, that we are human, we do struggle, we try to make meaning of life, but it's been a struggle and a challenge for me to get this mental health field to see us as worthy of this. And my commitment has been that we need to show that, one, we have the skills ourselves, but two, also that we deserve first-class help, first-class therapy, first-class help of the very best in our field, so that I feel that my calling has been to get to the world and represent us to the world in the sense of saying, not only do we deserve the service, but we also are capable of providing the best of service. So, the only thing I want to say is that I really feel blessed by God, honestly, okay, that we all really back people who want to get into the profession of psychotherapy, people from our own communities, so that we can show ourselves to be not only competent, but also caring people and understanding people. We deserve it, we owe it, and we're also capable of offering it. So thank you very much.
Picture. Dr.
Oh.
You said you're almost 90. They ain't got no time.
Doc said I'm out.
Almost 90. Wow. Almost 90.
So next we have this person. He's our councilman. He's our council member. Council member Gala Johnson is very hard. He is really one of the things that when we talked about who we want to honor, we want to honor the men in our community that's been doing the work. And one of the things, as you know, just living in the city or being in the city is something a lot of violence. Him and I talk about how we can work together to decrease some of the violence and try to help younger people to live better lives. So he has really been doing the work, and this is not just part of his job as a council member, but just the work he does in the community. So we want to take this time to recognize Council Member Gala Johnson for the work he does in the community.
God is good.
All the time.
All the time.
God is good.
First and foremost, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing me to have this opportunity to be at this podium to accept this award. First and foremost, I want to ask everyone to give a round of applause to our mistress for the ceremony, the next 100 mayor of the city of Philadelphia. I also want to acknowledge two of my soon-to-be colleagues, Dr. Nina Ahmad and Attorney Jeffrey Young, who's here. Can you both stand up? I also acknowledge my city commissioner, Mr. Omar Sabir. I want to also acknowledge that on the side of every strong woman is a strong man. The head of the building trade, Mr. Ryan Ward. Please stand up. To the CEO of the Black Brain Campaign, a young lady who has a passion and commitment to address the issue of mental health and trauma in the African American community, Farida Boyer. Give her a round of applause. And I just want to acknowledge, when I got the call that I was going to receive this award, Champion of the Year award, I just thought about what keeps me strong every day, what allows me to get up and go out in the community every day to serve the people. And so I want to ask my beautiful wife, who's the wing, she's the wind beneath my wings, the joy of my soul, the beat in my heart.
All right.
My beautiful wife, Dawn Shu. Can you please stand me back? We talk about addressing mental health and trauma. You have a good soulmate that's there to support you, to be your partner, somebody that can keep you strong on the days you don't want to be strong. I just always acknowledge my wife because it's two of us that are taking on this world when it comes to changing the city of Philadelphia and making it a better place for everyone. So thank you, love, for allowing me to do the work that I'm doing as a public servant. Most of you may not know, and I'll just be real brief. I'm born and raised in South Philadelphia. I went to Mansfield University, got a degree in criminal justice with dual minors in philosophy and sociology. I went to the University of Pennsylvania, got my national degree in government administration and public finance. Also went to Harvard School of Business, where I got a certificate in nonprofit leadership and board management. But in 1998, while I was an AmeriCorps member, my cousin of mine was murdered in the streets of South Philadelphia. And the last words that he said was, "Why did you shoot me like that?" So I was angry, I was hurt, and some family members and some friends got together that evening to go retaliate after the guys that murdered my cousin. I decided not to go. What I did was I called a guy named Bilal Qayyum and said, listen, I'm going to do a Peace Not Guns prayer vigil and rally in honor of my cousin because I did not want his life to be in vain, his life taken to be in vain. And from that point forward, we've been organizing a prayer vigil, a rally, addressing the issue of peace, not guns in my community, teaching young people conflict resolution, anger management, and most importantly, anti-street education. So the work that I do as an elected official is an extension of my character, but most importantly, my passion and commitment to address the trauma that our young people are dealing with day in and day out. Why I'm so passionate about the work that Farida is doing. It's not normal in our neighborhoods to bring children to prayer vigils and balloon releases. It's not normal in our community when you have 6-year-old children, 7-year-old children talking about who got murdered, who got shot in our neighborhood. It's not normal for you to go to school. You're supposed to learn, right? And while you're in school, you find out your school's either locked down, there's an active shooter outside. Phone call I got the day that took place at St. Thomas Aquinas School in South Philadelphia. Or talking to your classmates who have friends and family members who have been shot and or murdered. And so when you talk about the important work that this sister is doing, there is no more critical work than saving our babies, making sure that they understand that growing up in this city, right, seeing young people being shot and murdered day in and day out isn't normal. It's totally abnormal. And that's why I always will support the work that you are doing to make sure that every young person has an opportunity to go on and follow their goals, their dreams, and their aspirations, and they aren't hindered by the trauma that they're dealing with day in and day out. And what this sister's also doing is making sure, she taught me a little something about, they have all these terms, but what is it, culturally competent clinicians? And so, yeah, we should be supporting sisters like her who's actually going out in the community. Now, we support the University of Pennsylvania. We support Children's Hospital.
Come on.
Right? We support Jefferson Hospital.
Come
right?
on.
When a murder takes place in our neighborhood, I see Farida Borden, the Black campaign in our neighborhood, addressing the issue of trauma with our young people and our families. Let's make sure we continue to support her. I will make sure, as part of my support of you, I pledge $5,000 for next year. Make it to be supportive of make sure you do. Waiting for Ryan to say I would match that. I said I'm sure I'm going to match that. Last year we kind of had a little match on it. So I'm starting with 5,000. I see Butchie and the operating engineers over there, and I see Ryan. So anybody else want to match their 5,000? Issa, I see you over there as well. So anybody want to match that? Well, listen, I'm proud. You need to think of me to be. I'm not even about awards, right? I'm about the work, right? And for me, it does mean a lot. We've come a long way, my wife and I, over the last 2 years, and so this is truly a joy and an honor for somebody to take time out to acknowledge me. So I just want to please thank you very much. I'm going to dedicate this award to my wife, and always keep reaching out. Love you, baby. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
He has been in the community for a very long time, doing the work. And when I first met him, I was like, who is this man? He talks a lot about gun violence and how we need to do this and that. And he's another person that's hard working. He's gonna call me, Farida, this is what we need to do to get it done. And I'm like, okay, brother, he wanted to put your fingers. So whatever he had, he just said, okay, brother, how we can get it done. He shows up to the meetings, he's gonna be there and talk. He's really dedicated to trying to make a difference with all the gun violence that's going on. And we just wanted to take the time to honor him and give him his flowers back.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, let me thank Councilman Johnson for the knowledge and all the elected officials, because I was going to do that. I don't have to do it now. But I do have to acknowledge, first of all, that I am very honored to get this award. When I was told I was receiving this award, it kind of hit me when they talk about lifetime achievement. So my first comment is really, I want to thank Allah for giving me 77 years on this earth. And out of that 77 years, my brothers and sisters, I've been involved 60 years. Most of y'all in this room are not in that age. I first got involved when I was at Oakbrook High School back in the 60s. A good friend of mine named James and Toomey. Some of y'all heard of him. Juicy Taylor. Who went to Overbrook. And our first civil disobedience, Overbrook had this structure about white institutional racism, which is still alive today. So the white kids would drive one door, right, on the north side of the door. Oh, the mic south side of the door. And one day, me and Timmy were leaving.
Hold on 1 second. AV, Felicia, AV. There you go, Felicia.
Thank you. We were reading the autobiography of Malcolm X on the steps where the white kids came out. And we were just there reading it. It wasn't our intent. And all the white kids looked at us, and I know some of y'all thinking I was one of those white kids, but I wasn't. White kids looking at us, and the next day the word got out in the school. And black kids started coming out of the north side of Overbrook High School. So that was my first disobedience, unknowingly. But since then, I've been involved. And I have enjoyed life. I'm still enjoying life. I want to thank the members of the Black Brain Campaign and its leaders for recognizing me, but also have to give a big thanks to my 40th year in marriage. Come December, my wife, Tamara Kayum, we have 5 kids, 14 grandkids, and 5 great-grandkids. Because we stuck together over those years. She was behind me, all the things I did when I ran for office, when I was starting organizations and all that, when I was in the street during the nights trying to reduce violence, my wife was with me. One of the solutions I just want to share with you tonight quickly that me and Ryan talked about is we got to, first of all, to deal with the violence in the city. People don't understand. Most of the violence is not kids killing each other, not drug related, it's argument related. Argument related. 65% of all shootings is over arguments. That's how come it's so important the work they're doing. Because there's some people in this room right now that don't even know it. They're uptight. They might be packing. Argument starts, shooting happens. That's what's going on. That's what's going on in the city. So the Black Brain Campaign has to be in the lead of that. We have to support them. Second thing is black folks in the city of Philadelphia, we have to take ownership of what's going on in our community. White folks ain't killing us. Ku Klux Klans might be involved somewhat behind the doors that people kid with me about, but we have to take the ownership to solve the problem of violence in the city of Philadelphia. The other thing, when I mentioned too about my wife and our 40 years, one of the major solutions is going to be in our community is folks getting married again. So we can quit this stuff talking about 70% of our kids don't live in a household where there's a mom and a pop. We need it married again. So we did it a couple years ago. We're going to do it again. I'm talking my organization, Father's Day Rally Committee. We promoted this idea of Black Marriage Day, which is the third Sunday in March, promoting black marriage in the city of Philadelphia again. And I know some of y'all look at me and say, well, Al, we've been through that, but that's the solution. Families are the solution. Taking care of our kids are the solution. Brothers stepping up and make sure they're taking care of their child, even if they're not physically with their child, is the solution. It's simple. Everybody wants to make this stuff so complex, but it's really simple. Ownership of our communities, taking responsibility for our communities and our children. And I can tell you, as it relates to violence, we will see the reduction. The last point I want to make is, and they mentioned it earlier, I know she didn't want to claim it, but we do have a mayor in our room today. Yeah. Now, I know people say she's not mayor-elect yet, but in my mindset, that woman over there is our mayor. I don't know about y'all. And we have to, as someone said earlier, we have to be 100% behind our mayor. Amen. And yes, Sherelle, I'm calling you my mayor and our mayor. We have to be 100% behind it because white folks are just waiting to take her down. We can't allow that. So we, once again, work together, rebuild our families, support the Black Brain campaign because everybody's hurting out here. People are really hurting. They're doing the work. We have to do everything to support them. I'm looking in the future. I might not be around too long. I got way more years behind me than I have in front of me. But I believe very strongly of our history in this country. Whatever the struggle is, we overcome it. We can overcome every struggle we have. And particularly in the city of Philadelphia, the struggles we have, working together, supporting our new mayor, I'm confident we could see a better day in the city of Philadelphia in the future. Thank you.
So finally, we have our last award, and that's our Community Hero Award. We talked a lot about violence this evening and being in the community. One of the jobs that this person has, I'm not sure if everybody can do this. It's hard to be a police officer in the city of Philadelphia today. I'm not sure too many people are signing up to be a police officer. But I want to thank him for his hard work and his commitment to as being the captain of the police department. And thank you for the hard work that you're doing in the city of Philadelphia. We want to welcome Captain Lawrence Newble for the Community Hero Award. No!
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I am so honored and so privileged. It's a blessing to do what I do. Not a lot of people get paid to do the work that they truly love, but just understand, there's nothing I would rather do more than wake up at 5 a.m. every morning and serve you. My life work has been dedicated to keeping the citizens of Philadelphia safe, and we have our challenges with that, but I believe with organizations such as this and in support of you, this can be done. Nothing great gets done alone. That's why we need organizations like Black Brain and you supporting the police department. We, as a city, are not going to be safer if one side decides to stand on the other while the other side does all the work. Just understand, policing is every bit your responsibility as it is mine. Understand, I need the public to keep us accountable. We need to be put in check in certain places and times, but we also need to support when we have our struggles. This city will not be safe if we tear the police department down and leave nothing left to serve the public. Understand, I represent a unique disposition of policing. We love to work. We love being held accountable. And nothing gives us more pleasure than to keep you safe. But I can't do it alone. I can't lead these men and women. I can't train these men and women. I can't mold these men and women without your support. I understand in certain circles it's not cool to like the police, but you better love a cop. Because if you don't, you will have a rogue police department with no accountability and out here just doing what they want to do. Make it your business to love a police officer. Make it your business to pray for a police officer. Today, they're This job could not be done without the deity, without God. And I don't care what you call him, you better believe in him. That's what I tell cops day one when they come into the 19th district. Just so you know where the 19th district is. It is where St. Joe's University is. It is where Overbrook High School is. And it's also the former district where the interim police commissioner used to work. Sure. So with that being said, I am honored to accept this award. Surely my job, when I took it, I didn't worry about being recognized. I didn't worry about pats on the back. I just wanted to go out there and make the streets safe for Kim and Lawrence to walk down the street. My 3 boys, Jabri, Makai, and Noah, wanted to make sure as black men, when they went out, they weren't stopped by a cop with an agenda to take them out. Understand. I am a father of 3 black boys, and I want to make sure that they want to live the life that they want to live, safely and responsibly. I'm going to continue to pray for Black Brand Organization, as I hope that you continue to pray for me and the police department. I'm going to accept this award not just for Lawrence Newell. I'm going to accept this award on behalf of every woman and man that wears a badge and does the job the right way. When I get back to the 19th district, I'm going to take this award and tell them it's not my award, it's our award. As I leave this podium, I'm going to continue to pray for you, and you continue to pray for me. God bless you all. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Leap Forward pinning ceremony to Dr. Harry Aponte, to Captain Lawrence Newell, to Councilmember Kenyatta Johnson and Bilal Qayyum, stand up and give them all a round of applause. Please stand up. Wouldn't it have been interesting if every news station and every newspaper in the city were here tonight because of what we're doing? Honor and the privilege. Now we have the honor and privilege of having our intermission. We're going to have some dessert and music, but now I need to remind everyone about the raffles. You still have some time. Don't forget about the Eagles and the Sixers tickets. Don't forget about that professional photo shoot and all that we reference. So we still have a little bit of time. We also want to say to each of you that we are going to be coming back. Now listen, by the time we come back, because he wants to get started immediately, we are going to scan the QR code on the program card or over at the raffle table to purchase those raffle entries. Don't forget again, the hottest item is the raffle, that's what I hear. It's the Eagles gift basket, because that includes tickets to a home game. Yeah. I should have said that. Felicia, I should have done it. Why you make me say it out loud? The raffle automatically closes at 10:30 p.m. tonight, so make sure you get your tickets online right now. Now listen, when we return, we are going to go directly into our fireside chat. And it is hosted by a gentleman who is also so very humble. He doesn't like to tell people that not only is he a Philadelphia son, but he is also a trailblazing, trend-setting leader in his own right. We saw him do so as he worked his way through the Laborers District Council. Ryan, when you became chair of the Laborers District Council, I don't think people recognize how many locals that was. I think when people thought Laborers District Council, some people just thought for a while that was Local 332. They didn't know about Heavy Highway. They didn't know about all that had entailed. From there, how many of you have heard of something called the Delaware River Port Authority? You know the Ben Franklin? You know those bridges? Well, there's a bi-state organization and authority, and they are bestowed with the responsibilities of being stewards of all of those bridges. And Ryan Boyer is the first Black chair of the Delaware River Port Authority board, almost 1,000 employees. In addition to that, it's interesting, Ryan, we always talk about people when they rise to a position of leadership, and sometimes people get there and it feels good. And they just stay for a long, long time. But when Ryan decided that he was going to make his transition, he and Oprah Kanoto and Ish, I think the three of you were having a conversation, so the story goes to me, I wasn't in the room, and you all got on the phone and made a recommendation. And the next thing you know, I was getting a call from Governor Wolf that Ryan Boyer was resigning from his role as chair of the Delaware River Port Authority, and the governor told me that I would be appointed to that board. After that, I was elected as chair. That wouldn't have been possible whether or not you made room at the table. Give Ryan Boyer another round of applause. Then something really striking happened. I know you read the newspaper. There was an adjustment made in leadership over at the Philadelphia Building Trades. I don't know about you. For those of you who know the building trades, you listened to me read all of the sponsorship that you saw here. Obviously, they're vested here. They believe in what the Black Brain campaign is doing. But when the building trades decided that it would elect the first Black chair of the Philadelphia Building Trades, a lot of people were happy and they clapped, but there were a whole lot of people that said, oh, the power is gone. They done elected that Black guy named Ryan Boyer as the chair, and I think the building trades, hef, deaf, and their wef just went out the window. I became the Democratic nominee for mayor here in the city of Philadelphia because of the building trades, because of the carpenters, SCIU, and many of you who are here. But that didn't get started until the building trades made a decision. He's going to start that, and he's not getting ready to talk now. Y'all going to say, she done said all that. We thought he was getting ready to start it right now. No, as soon as you get finished with dessert and you get finished with the raffle, the next voice you are going to hear is Ryan Boyer's, because he's going to start the fireside chat. So let's give him a round of applause now, please. Felicia, did I follow instructions? She's saying, yes, she follows. She ate Farida. She's tough. She's thick to the script. All right, we get a little bit of intermission. Had some coffee, had some desserts. Go over there with the raffles and try to go to the game. And Ryan Boyer will kick us off with the fireside chat. Thank you all so much. I hope we didn't put you to sleep tonight. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. She didn't get the memo. I changed things up a little bit for the sake of time. We really want, you're going to have dessert. The intermission is going to be just enough time for our presenters for the fireside chat to get on stage. But we do want to thank you, Sherelle, for hosting us for the past 3 years. I had to call her. I said, listen, I don't want you to get brand new on me, but can you host us again before you step into your next job? Because I don't know what it's going to be like when you get into your next job. And she definitely said, I'm going to be there for you. So I appreciate you for all you do. We wish you the best, and we're here for you whenever you need us.
this house. And it's more acute with men because we hold things in. We don't talk. And a lot of times when it comes out to us, it comes out as violence. So we just wanted to have a conversation with people that do 3 different things and some things that happen in their lives. And since we had Captain Newble on, I want to start the first question with you, Quillberg, who's a police officer. And given this environment, and it's violent on the street, but you guys have to see violence. And just being a cop in this environment where it's not, some people don't think it's cool to be a cop. How do you feel about that?
Give me the question again.
Like being in an environment of where people don't like cops, and also you gotta like control the violence in the community. How does that make you feel?
I kind of grew into it. I've been a cop since I was 21. I'm 43 now, so I kind of grew into it. It's kind of more of a way of life now. I really don't. There's nothing that I actually see like a difference as far as how I think about it or how I approach it. I just try to be impressionable, like myself, and leave a lasting impression on who I serve is pretty much I.
Now, Dante, you had a run-in with the cops, and you felt like you were unfairly treated, and you were in Delaware County at the notorious George Hill facility that they've since cleaned up. How did that affect you? How did it feel?
It felt crazy. It felt unjust. It make you feel like you're not supposed to be where you are, but we supposed to be able to move freely. You know, so when we get pulled over, now I see a cop car, turn the radio down. I'll be looking out the window nervous, thinking they're gonna pull me over for no reason. You know, stuff like that.
So I hear you're a clinical therapist, and you're the therapist not only officially, but unofficially for an entire Islamic community because we don't have a lot and we really don't talk. So I just want you to take a minute to, how is the stress on you? Because everybody calls you. Like you become the de facto counselor for the community.
I mean, that's actually true. At one time when I was doing my outpatient therapy at the masjid, I was getting calls almost every day, and it was very overwhelming. But I don't think that before Farida came here, we didn't have that outlet to actually go to someone outside of me being a black male therapist. So people, felt lost. You can't go to certain cultures and talk to them about certain experiences. Like you said, what goes in the household stays in the household. If you go to somebody else and talk to them like that, they don't understand that concept. So you have to navigate it differently to get out what you want. So it's always been overwhelming and it's been frustrating because sometimes you just can't help everybody. And that's one of my problems. I tried to help everyone and you just can't do it.
So who did you talk to after that experience? Did you actually talk to somebody? Did you get therapy or would you be open to that?
I actually do have a therapist now because of that situation. And I talk to you as well. But I talk to my therapist every week now, ever since that, because it leaves you traumatized,
Well, do you talk to anybody like when you have a rough day at work? Like, how do you decompress? Like, it's dangerous times, you're doing a very difficult job, and we should honor cops more, and we don't. And we, like, who do you talk to?
I talk to a lot of my friends most of the time. If it's something, I really don't, to be totally honest, work isn't a part of the stress of my life. So I know how once I clock out, I detach from it. So work is probably the least stress in my life.
So you
for
don't,
the most part.
at work, once you detach, you're doing other things.
That's correct, yes.
That's a good thing. So I hear, so what advice could you give to men on conflict resolution? As Bilal Qayyum said earlier, most of these beefs start with a small argument. How can we not escalate those arguments to the point of violence?
I think as black men, directly, we have to take away that ego. That ego that we have, that we can't back down, we can't look soft, we can't look sweet. Our brother Jay-Z said in his quote, if you tag lane, the game is follow the leader. Remember that? Yeah. So if somebody in the neighborhood calls you soft, then everybody thinks you're soft, and you got to fight the whole neighborhood to get that rep back. And 30 years ago, that made sense to me. But now, I can say, you know what? I don't want to fight. I want to talk it out. Let's have a verbal, communication. Let's see where we can do. And then also having our old heads in the community assist us and to better communicate our feelings. Anybody who knows me knows I'm quick to say I'm sorry. I'm quick to say I apologize. I'm quick to say it's my fault. But that wasn't me 20 years ago, but that is me now. So it's a learning process that we have to learn to effectively communicate our feelings without thinking that we're soft. And if someone thinks that we're soft, that's all right. There's nothing wrong with somebody else feeling though you're soft.
So you talked about old heads as well. What's the best approach? Because you come in contact with a lot of young people, because not only you're a cop, you're a barber. Like, how can we talk to them about it's okay to just talk it out, but you ain't got to respond every time?
Conflict resolution is very big. I think we lack that in our community, so it's hard because it's hard to approach it. Different people, you have to approach it in different ways, and I just learned throughout the years. Everybody's a little different, and I kind of adjust to who I'm speaking to or what I'm speaking to them about.
But do you talk to them? Do you give them the game?
Absolutely, yes.
Do you think it's our responsibility not to give the young people the game? Because we didn't live, we didn't saw, or we should just mind our business? Stay out the way, so to speak.
We can't stay out the way, we gotta lead. And the thing with young people today is they don't understand that we've been through that already. You know, they think that this is the first time it's getting done. You know, they gotta know that they got somebody to follow that's gonna take them to the right place.
So as we talk about leadership, the leadership in our community used to be the black church, used to be the black mosque. Now people are thinking they can lead themselves. What role does men reestablishing the institutions, how can that help the violence in our community?
It's actually a good question. And the answer is that the men have to basically step up again. You know, we had, when growing up, my fathers, they had the Black Panther Party, and they had actual men going in the corners, grabbing these young men up and say, yo, you're not doing that, this is what you're doing. So we had to do that, because when I was growing up, we had a community where if you was doing something in front of somebody else's house, they will yank you up, take you to your parents' house, and tell you what they did. We have to have that now, and unfortunately, you know, it's going to be harder to do that because of the social environment. But we have to get back to doing things for us, telling these young men to basically stop and not being afraid of certain consequences or outcomes, knowing that in the long run, that it will be better for the community.
Now, if it's better for the community, how do you deal with now? We do that in this environment, and now the parents aren't on your side. They become your enemies. Because see, back in the day, when Mr. Bush ripped me up, I didn't want my mom and dad to know, because they're going to be like, what did you do to get gripped up? Now, don't be touching my son. So, Quill, whoever want to answer that, how do we repair relationships with the mothers, even if we're not in the home, as Bilal said?
That is a good one, because I know when I came up, my mom would stay out of certain things where men would or not even just men, people in the neighborhood would have to discipline me or say certain things to me. My mom would stay out of it. And that kind of led me to, have a certain respect for other adults. But now we have like mothers and fathers going up to the school playing public defender. when the teacher's the one when the son, you know your son, you know your daughter, you know what they do. But you go up to the school, you argue the case.
That is, so this is the last question so that people can dance and all that, but I want all y'all to answer this last question. If you can give men one piece of advice to save their mental health, what would it be?
The one piece of mental advice that I would say is to have a spiritual background or a higher being, something or someone that you believe in that you can go to for that spiritual need that we all need. And it's in our history. We are spiritual people. So to have that backing is the biggest thing that I feel is done.
Thanks, sir. I actually think I'm big on speaking on something. If I have an issue, I speak on it, I let it out. I don't hold too much in. So I get it out, and once it's out, it's over with me. I let it go.
We gotta stop the mentality of, they don't know me, they can't tell me nothing. Every time it's time for us to speak up, we don't say nothing because we think we know everything. But sometimes people can help you. We gotta speak up and stop being scared to speak out.
I want to say thank you to these three brothers and give them a hand, because being vulnerable up here, it is hard to pour out. But this is what the Black Rain Campaign wants to foster, where we can talk and men's groups, women's groups, and go to therapy. But all these men up here, thank you. I love you and I admire y'all. Thanks.
So as we wrap the evening up, let's give our fireside chat visitors another round of applause for being so vulnerable and sharing a piece of their experience. I thought it would be helpful to hear from them just because I knew a lot of their experience and I wanted other people to be able to hear how it felt to be a police officer in that environment, just being stopped by the police, and as well as my colleague who provides therapy to people experiencing it. So, it's been our 4th annual Green Tie Gala. I am glad that you all decided to join us today. It has been a lot. We have done a lot of work in this past year. I'm thankful to be able to receive the support that we have. I want to thank all of you who reach out, support us in any way that you can, refer people to us. We try to meet the need of the community by providing free mental health therapy. It is our goal to be, and right now we'll be at Mecca Life Center with a case manager and a therapist. We'll be at Unity and Community with a therapist and a case manager, and we're trying to develop a relationship for a partnership in West Philly with the case manager so that people are able to come into therapy. But right now we continue to provide virtual therapy. You get 12 free sessions. You just have to go online to sign up. We still provide training for clinicians. I want to thank my husband because this is a lot. And when I tell you, he works hard to fundraise for this event more than anybody, and we are close to $100,000 fundraising because of him. I want to say thank you. I appreciate you for what you do. All of my clinicians that work with me, Kavana, Janine, all of you, our therapists who have got their license. It's a struggle, but you can do it. My board members who support us, my laborers district council family, who, whatever I need, they are there to help support us in the time of need. My family and my friends and colleagues, thank you. We want you to have a good night, fellowship, drink, get on the 360. We all have gifts for you, so if you did not get a gift, we ran to the store, got some more gift bags so that everybody can get a gift. So on your way out, please make sure you get a gift. Be safe and have a good night.